Hey kids, how are you doing? Welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. I'm Brian Stewart. We're on Lesson 7 now. And Lesson 7, we're talking about trees, right? Our question or our lesson title is, how old is that tree? How old is that tree? In this lesson, we will focus on how can we tell? How can we tell? How can we know the age of a tree? So if we see a tree in the forest, we want to know, how old is that tree? Oh, it's really big. How old is it? Well, in this lesson, we'll find out. Let's start with the vocabulary for this lesson. The first word has to do with this picture here. What do we call this here? This is trees cut up for making something. We make a lot of things from trees. We've talked about this in previous lessons. Probably we've studied together on a previous lesson. We can see that trees are used for what? Trees are used to make wood. We use wood to make other things like houses, furniture, desk, chair, toys. You can have toys made out of wood. These things are wooden, right? A wooden chair, a wooden desk, a wooden toy. Things made out of wood. Wood. Okay, what's our next word? The next word has to do with this here. Of course, it's been cut. This is a tree that has been cut. But what is the main stem of a tree? If you remember, or if you studied about plants, you know there are many different parts of a plant, right? There are the roots, there's the stem, there's the branches, the leaves, right? The flower in some plants. But on a tree, right, the stem, we have a special word for it. Because a small plant, we don't say this word. But for a big tree, it's strong, it's thick, and we use it to make wood. What is this part of the tree? We call it the trunk. Trunk. T-R. Trunk. Trunk. We call it the trunk of a tree. We don't really say the stem of a tree. That sounds a little strange. Instead, we say the trunk of a tree. But if it's a small plant, yes, you can say the stem. But a big plant like a tree, that's weird. We would say the trunk of a tree. Not really the stem of a tree. That sounds a little bit strange. So it's better to say the trunk of a tree. And it's the trunk where we get our wood from, most of our wood. You can get some wood from the branches, yes, but mostly it's the trunk where we get our wood. Okay, if you look at the trunk of a tree that's been cut, right, this way, not this way, but this way, you can see these things here. What are these? There's round circles. These are a circle, or many circles, inside a tree trunk. So we want to know about one. We're talking about singular, not plural. One of these is called a ring. A ring. A ring basically is a circular shape, right? Many married people have a ring on their finger, right? It's a round shape like a circle, right? And we call these rings, right? Rings. Many we say rings. So R sound, ring, and ng, ring, ring. Okay, so we say ring. A circle inside a tree trunk. Wow, you can see many rings inside the tree. Now, we have another word that we can use. Look at this tree. This is a very, very big tree. It's big. We use a special word to say something that's very big. This tree trunk, of course, this tree trunk is big, but look at this tree. Wow, it goes from here all the way over to there. That's really big. And this is a person here, right? So that's your scale, right? It's very, very big. These trees probably are growing in Northern California or Oregon, Washington. The trees are really big in those states in America. What do we say? They're really big. One word, we can say they're huge. They're huge. They're really, really big. If you go to Northern California Oregon or Washington State. You can see these trees in the forest. You go, wow, they're huge. They're so amazing. We say huge. Huge is a good word to use. It means very, very big. Okay, now we have another word here that's interesting because we want to say that this person is in the middle point of something. They are right in the middle of something. You have an area or maybe a room, but you're right at the middle point of that room or that area. Where are you? You are in the center. We say in the center, in the center, in the center of the room, in the center of the field, right? In the center of the paper, something that is in the very middle of something, the exact middle of something, they are in the center of it, in the center. So here we have a lot of fruit, right? More than enough. There's enough food to make us full, but there's more than enough. We can't eat all of this food. We can't eat it. So we have plenty. We have plenty of food. We have plenty of fruit. We have plenty of wood. We have plenty of air, right? So we have more than enough. We have plenty. We have plenty of food. Please come over. Share our lunch. I have plenty of food. I can share my lunch with you. I have plenty. Okay, another word we have, to watch something. If you're watching something, what are you doing? You're looking at it. So this woman is looking at her shoe, right? She's trying to get her shoe. Maybe she can't, but she's looking at it, right? She's trying to grab it. Her shoe is under her bed. But we look at things. Look at and watch are very similar. You watch a television show. You look at your television. You watch a television show. You watch your dog. You look at your dog. Right? So when you watch something, by the way, when you watch something, you watch it for a long time. When you look at something, it can mean you look at it for a long time. It can also mean you look at it to examine it. What's going on? What is it? Okay? So look at and watch are very similar. You look at something, you watch it. See is very quick. Do you see it? Yeah, I see it. It's over there. Go get out. I see it, right? That's very quick. But you look at it. Oh, okay. I'm watching it, okay? So you look at or watch something, and then you see it very quick. Well, I see it. It's right there, okay? Okay, so those are the differences between look at, watch, and see. Okay. To make a tree fall down. To make a tree fall down. This was a huge tree. It fell down, and then they cut it into pieces. They're going to make wood out of it, right? What do we say? We cut down. I just said it. They cut the tree down. They cut it down and they cut it into different pieces. But when you cut down a tree, that means it falls down. By the way, in America, when the workers go in the forest and they cut down a tree, they yell something. What do they yell? They yell, timber, right? Timber. Timber. Timber! It means the tree is falling down. But timber also is another word for wood. It's interesting, right? So it's like the workers are going out, they cut down the tree, wood! But they don't say wood, they say timber! And that means, watch out, Joshimeo, get out of the way, right? So that's very interesting. If you're in the forest in America and you hear somebody say, timber! Look around, right? There might be a tree falling down. Hopefully not, but probably not. But anyway, that's what they say. When you cut down a tree, that's what happens. You make a tree fall down. You make it fall down. Okay. Something round. We talked about that. A ring is round, but a ring makes a shape. What is the shape called? It's a circle. This is a circle. We can also say it's a ring, like the ring on my finger, or the ring in a tree. It's a circle. It makes a circle. It's round. So something that is round, it makes a circle. Makes a circle. That's the shape. The circle is the shape. It is round. You could also say it has a round shape. also a ring. A ring is a round shape. It is a circle. A ring makes a circle. Okay. Not inside. These people are not inside their house. They are what? The opposite of inside is outside. That's very easy, right? In, out. Opposite. Inside means inside a building. In a building. In a building. Someplace where you have a roof, a ceiling, and walls around you. You are inside, in a building. But if you are out of a building, there's no ceiling. Above you is sky. Around you, just air, right? Then you are outside. So inside, in a building. Outside, out of a building. Okay? So inside, outside. Next, to add up, to find the total. So this girl is using a very old device to do what? She's doing what? What is she doing? She is counting. To count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one way to count. Another way is to add up to find the total. Let's say you have many pieces of candy. You want to know how many pieces of candy do you have? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 20, 50. I have 50 pieces of candy, right? So you're counting the pieces of candy. Don't eat 50 pieces of candy. You will get a stomach ache, right? Just eat 1 or 2 pieces of candy. But to add up, to find the total, you're counting something. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. To count. Okay, the next word, that's kind of a funny picture, right? These guys are buddies. But you can see there's a big difference between these two gentlemen here, right? This guy's huge. This guy is not huge. He's not thick. By the way, thick also means, like this, right? He's not fat. It doesn't necessarily mean fat. It just means that he's got a wide body, right? He's got a wide body. He's thick. He's not thick. When a person isn't thick, we say that they are thin. Thin. So thick and thin are opposites. Pandero, right? Pandero. This man is thick. This man is thin. But we don't really say people are thick. We kind of say he's big, right? He's a big guy. He's a thin guy. You can say thin. Thin is used for people. It's also used for trees, right? Or other things, right? A book. A book can be thick or a book can be thin. A thick book, a thin book. A big person, a thin person. Okay? We don't really say he's a thick person. We say he's a big person. Okay, now it's time to do the exercises with the words. How well do you remember the words we just studied? Let's take a look. We need to take these words here and put them into sentences, in the blanks. Let's see what our words are first. Our words are wood, wood. Next, rings, rings. Center, right in the center, center. Trunk, right? Trunk. Huge, huge. And plenty, plenty. These are the words that we need to fit into these blanks. Number 1, that elephant is what? Now we could say a couple things. The elephant, think about an elephant. Is an elephant a small animal? No, an elephant is really, really big, right? So probably our best word, we might say that the elephant is what? Our only word here to talk about really, really big is huge. That elephant is huge, really, really big. If you walk up to an elephant, wow, it's really big. It's huge. Number 2, my desk is made of. Made of. What is something here that we use to make things? I gave you this example, right? I said we make desks, we make chairs, we can make toys out of it, right? What is the material? We say it is wood. My desk is made of wood. That's the only material here that we can use to make things. We don't have stone, we don't have concrete, we don't have other types of materials. The only material we have is wood. That's the only one. My desk is made of wood. 3. The beep of that tree is very big. So of that tree, it's a part of a tree. Which word means a part of a tree? Of course, we're looking over here to trunk. The trunk of that tree is very big. We saw the pictures, right? The woman standing in front of 2 trees. One tree was cut down. It was pretty big. But the tree behind her that was still standing, wow, that trunk was really big. The trunk of that tree was really big. It's the main part of the tree. Now, we don't really say stem, we say trunk. Okay, let's continue on number 4. Number 4 starts, do you want some ice cream? Of course we want some ice cream. Of course. Do we even have to ask the question? Do you know, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, right? So we all want ice cream, always. That we shouldn't even ask that question. We want ice cream. Well, do you want some ice cream? There is beep in the freezer. What word goes here? There is plenty. There is plenty in the freezer. That means there's a lot of ice cream in the freezer. There's plenty, more than enough. Help yourself. And remember, the freezer is the part of the refrigerator that keeps things very cold, right? You want your ice cream to be cold, because if it's not cold, it's soup. Ugh, who wants that, right? You want cold, delicious ice cream. We all want ice cream. Do you want some ice cream? You bet. Of course we want some ice cream. There is plenty in the freezer. There's plenty in the freezer. Okay, number 5. This is our class picture. I'm in the beep. Now, if you think about a picture, right? We have a picture like this, and a class picture means there's many people in the picture, right? So I'm not a very good artist, right? But you would have all of your friends and maybe your teacher in the back, right? But you've got all your friends, all your classmates here. These are people. Okay, I'm not a good artist. Okay, but I'm in the what? You're talking about this person right here, in the middle, right in the middle of the picture. I'm in the center. I'm in the center of the picture. This is our class picture. I'm in the center. I'm in the middle of the picture. Number 6, these circles, so remember the circles, right? They are called what? What are we looking at? We're looking at rings. These are called rings. These circles, especially when you cut a tree and you look at the circles in the wood, those are called rings. Rings are a circular shape. And there's many kinds of rings too. In the wood, the ring is just a ring in the tree. You can have a ring made of metal. There's a famous movie, right? Maybe you saw it, about a very famous ring, right? And a little creature that goes, my precious, right? That movie is about a ring too, right? Okay, so circles are called rings. Okay, well that wraps up the vocabulary section of this lesson. Let's take a short break. We'll come back and we'll look at the reading passage. So don't go away.